their property and the families also. Great to be with us on the way home and watch over some people say, and ask you in your son's name.
So movie. If you will join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much for coming out this evening. Hope everybody's staying dry. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Madam Clerk if she would please call our roll call.
Tommy Belcher, Linda Bruce, Shane Burton, Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jerry Ford, Chris Gregory, Jeff Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nallner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley, Amber Russell, Lonnie Taylor, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker. 17 present, 3 absent.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, at this time, you all have had the minutes from last month's meeting in your packets. So at this time, there'll be no any additional changes or anything. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Jeff and Beverly. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. As far as announcements goes, tomorrow, Tuesday, September 23rd, Trousdale Remembers will be held on the courthouse steps at 6 p.m. The event is sponsored by the Health Council for Suicide Prevention, Awareness, and Remembrance. Any other announcements need to be made from the floor tonight? Amber?
Our annual Goose Gala is going to be on October the 18th.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything? The citizens' response to any of the agenda items that's on the table for this evening. If you wish to speak to the commission on a specific item that's in the agenda, please sign in at the podium. You'll be called to address the commission at the proper time. There is also a public comment towards the end of the meeting should anyone need to speak. Yep. If there'll be any additions or changes to the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to set the agenda for this evening. Beverly and Leslie. Thank you. Alrighty. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask for our county mayor's report. Mayor, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir. As most of you have observed, the curb work and sidewalk work downtown has been completed. Cliff Salee and his staff and Johnny Hawkins have done a terrific job of making everything down there much more functional. On the Ward School, we'll begin, we have some volunteers coming tomorrow to begin cleaning out the inside of the school. We're almost at the point now of beginning work up there. We're waiting for, actually, we had received a bid of $7,500 to do the lead-based paint and asbestos work, but TDEC stepped in and said that that would come under our EPA clause. And so we're getting all that done at no cost. And plus, if there's any need within the building to make corrections, that would be covered too, separate from the grant. This weekend, the Tennessee State University band will be here to play at halftime. We'll be feeding them out at the school. And then we think right now they'll come down to the baseball field and be parked there before motor coaches. And this entire project's been privately funded, and we're very grateful for that and excited about it. The multimodal sidewalk project, which would extend sidewalks from The depot up to McMurray is still in the works. In the beginning, TDOT thought that would be a 3-year project and they underestimated the cost, and supposedly they're going to provide the money to finish that project at some point in time, but we are moving forward. From the jail project, I'm still negotiating with the Holder family on acquiring some extra footage on the backside of the lot across from the jail. That's an ongoing conversation and still shows promise, but that's where we are right now. I have talked to Cliff Salee and his staff about sometime in the near future cleaning out that row of trees, but that'll be the first thing we do in moving forward. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any questions for the mayor? Thank you very much. Moving forward, committee and board reports, Budget and Finance met on September 15. Commissioner Gregory, could you give us a report on that?
Yes, it was a pretty short meeting, more or less. The budget amendments tonight, we went over and favorable recommendation on all of them. That was about the major things.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for him? Appreciate that. Moving forward, Parks and Recreation met on September 18. Again, Commissioner Gregory, could you speak to that?
We more or less discussed the swimming pool, about whether to open it to this coming year. If we do, we're going to probably put in a new pool. And we had made a recommendation for the county court not to vote on, but we're going to table that and have more discussion. Mr. Slee was trying to get some more figures and some stuff together before we brought it to the county court on vote. We just thought with that big a decision, whether to open the pool and spend that kind of money or close it, it needs to be, brought in front of the whole county court, so the Parks and Rec Committee. So, and another thing discussed, the walking track, we more or less, Cliff said this needed to be resurfaced or repaved, and we agreement with trying to get that done, come up with the money for that. And that's about it. Our next meeting is October the 14th at 6 o'clock.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Commissioner Gregory regarding the Parks and Rec? Okay, moving forward, first responders, September 22nd. Amber, do you have anything to speak on that?
Sure. One thing, the EMS, they are in need of a new ambulance. We have a remount that could cost $190,000 or a new ambulance that could cost $300,000. There was a favorable recommendation for this information to be sent to finance. Law enforcement, four positions are open. They are still needing that tower up by Gravelly Hill. So they can all different civil services can have good radio reception. And 911 has funds set aside to kind of help support the building of this tower. So eager. On the fire, all vehicles are up. They have an increase in brush fires. They now have 20 men, which is where they kind of stay. They haven't had any recent quotes on the building that we had discussed several months ago. We did go over the burn permit back and forth, and in the end, we sent it back to Mr. Beeler for him to go over with Miss Amy to send back to us next month.
Thank you for that. Does anybody have any questions for Amber? Okay, moving forward, is there any other reports from any other subcommittees that we did not touch on here? Okay. At this time, we're going to move into active business, and this is the fun one, the election of officers. So it's the time to elect officers for this commission for this upcoming year. The office for the chair position and the pro tem are what's up for grabs right now. So if there be any nominations from the floor for the commission chair, we'd entertain those at this time. Amber?
Lonnie Taylor.
Is there any other? Mr. Whitaker? Yeah, okay. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Okay, I guess motions or nominations will cease. Do we, what do we do at this juncture?
Nomination.
So we need somebody to make a motion to cease nominating. Landon?
Make a motion, nomination cease, and Lonnie Taylor be elected by acclamation.
Okay, so I guess all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very much for your confidence. I'll do my best to serve another year up here. So now at this time, we're going to be electing the pro tem for the year 2026. So we'll open the floor now for nominations for the pro tem.
Good.
Thank you, Mark. Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? Is there any other nominations? I'll entertain a motion now for nominations to cease. Mr. Gully.
Make a motion nomination ceased and Bubba Gregory be elected by acclamation.
All righty. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carried. Congratulations, sir. We remain another year. Thank you very much. Well, the good news is we don't have any resolutions for this month, so we'll move straight to ordinances. This will be the first reading, be held for the next 5 ordinances. Ms. Mann, if you can go ahead and come up here to the podium. First one you're going to find on page 16, ordinance 333, 2025, 20, rezoning A1 to C1 on Highway 10. Are there any questions from the commission for Ms. Rosalie? Yes, Landon?
My apologies, this may have been asked last week. We had a football game last Monday night, so I was absent. This is the piece of property on Highway 10 where the dirt has been removed from. Is that correct? Am I in the right location? There was a lot of dirt, mined, I guess you would call the word, from this location.
You are correct, sir, and they have since been going ahead and filling that back up and temping it down as a building pad, and have secured the services of a surveying company that is making sure that they are going to bring that out of the flood zone.
Does anybody else have any questions for Ms. Mayan regarding this one? Mr. Gregory? I'm sorry, David, I didn't see.
Rosalie, it was brought up about the awareness of the property owner to the expansion of Highway 10. Did you ever hear anything back about that?
I have not. But we should have information before the second reading about that.
I'll make a motion to
Commission-
approve. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Sorry, we got a vote first and a second there, Leslie. Was Leslie, I'm sorry, it was you? I'm sorry. So it's Beverly. This will be an electronic vote, so you'll cast your ballots on the device, please. Oh, yeah, I thought we had to. Go ahead, sir. Is there any other discussion?
C1 in this area, what could be placed on this property?
C1 in the county will allow residential uses, it allows business uses. So anything dealing with that, I know the intention is for them to bring their business office here and construct a business office as well as park their equipment.
Any further discussion for this? Yes. David?
Through the discussion in planning, I don't remember it ever being asked, does the land perk? I'm guessing the way the dirt's been dug out, it'd have to sit for 5 or 10 years before it could.
So no mention of them seeking to have any type of perk site. With the amount of dirt that had been disturbed, I don't believe that there would be a perk site there. It would have to be somewhat constructed.
Do we have any more questions? Any further discussion? So now I believe we can take this to vote. So you'll register on your device, please. So unfortunately, dropping that IP address over there has upset a chain of these. So at this time, we'll probably voice vote on this one and see how it comes up in the next round, to see if it's had a chance to find its way back to us. So Madam Clerk, if you could please conduct a roll call vote on that one.
Linda Bruce, Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jeff Gregory. Yes. Bubba Gregory.
Yes.
Landon Gully. Judy Kerr. David Nollner.
Yeah.
Leslie Overman. Mark Presley.
Yes.
Amber Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Taylor.
Yes.
David Thomas. Steve Whitaker. 16 yes, 1 no, 3 absent.
Thank you, everybody. Motion carried. We're going to move to page 21 of your packet for the next one, which is ordinance 334, 2025-21, which is the rezoning A1 to R1 on Greenwood Hollow. Do we have any questions from the commission regarding this one, or Ms. Rosalie? I'll entertain a motion from the commission to move forward on this. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second from David. No further discussion? I guess we'll take this to vote if it's gonna have to be voice vote. It looks like it's gonna have to be voice vote as well, doesn't it? We can try it again, see if we can do it electronically, see if the system will take it or not. I see that. I can see that. I'm just saying it won't, we might as well voice vote this one. We'll have to reboot the entire system to get it to do that. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we're just gonna finish the evening doing a straight voice vote so we don't have to mess with the rebooting the system. Takes a while. So, all in favor? Okay. So with this one, she said, I'm being informed we do not have to do a roll call vote on that. We can just say all in favor. So all in favor? Is there any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. I apologize for the inconvenience. This next one you're going to find on page 26 of your packets. This is ordinance 335, 2025, 22, rezoning M1 to R2 to R2, M1 R2 to R2 on Herod Lane. All right, Landon? Does anybody, okay. We have a second? Bubba Gregory has got the second. Is there any discussion on this? You can speak with it and it should be able to. No, that's the whole leg that's out, yeah.
We've been trying each time we come along this area to get that M1 zoning into residential zoning. Those have come up a few times. So I think this is a really good move in this case.
Thank you. So we're ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Is any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. This next one you will find on page 31 of your packets. This is ordinance 336, 2025-23, which is to annex a parcel into the urban services district. Is there any questions or concerns from the commission? Landon?
I do have a question on this one. What area in here is already urban service? So we bring, how far are we extending that line? Is it touching areas that are already urban service? Is it adjacent, I should say, there to areas that are already urban service? Or is this one just gonna be a standalone?
No, who's going to speak to that for me? Rosalie, please.
The ballroom part, which is along, at Front Cemetery as well as Herod Lane, that is in the general service district, which is basically the county. They would like to include that parcel, that part of the parcel into the urban services. It does have sewer access. It does have, fire hydrants, both on some, they have fire hydrant on Cemetery and they have water and sewer on Herod and Cemetery as well for this parcel.
Are the highlighted yellow areas, are those all urban service? Is that what we're saying? I think it's the same property.
Yeah, so whatever is highlighted in yellow is in the urban services or the city limits. And the red line that,
Currently
plastics,
is-
that parcel.
So-
Urban,
Urban. Okay.
above the red line is urban, below the red line is general.
Is there any other questions? I'll take a motion from the commission at this time. And a motion, and do we have a second? David Thomas. Oh, I'm sorry, Landon.
So, bring this in there, urban service.
Does, who wants, you want to speak to that?
That question. What would it cost? I know in some areas of urban service, we have to provide lighting, we have to provide a few other things. What will have to happen cost wise to the county to put urban services?
David, do you want to speak to that?
Honestly, I don't know. When we took in the property up on Halltown and Dalton Hollow, when we annexed that property of Zach Taylor's, that was actually more property than this is, and with the same amount of infrastructure in place. And I don't think that was even asked then. It wasn't discussed in planning as far as an extra cost. You're dealing with 7 acres. You could possibly do, well, it's gonna be R1, so your single family dwellings. So you would have more trash pickup possibly, but that's gonna get, paid for. Is it going to R2? Okay, so then that'd be a little more denser, but so you're still not gonna be able to put, apartments in there in R2. You're just gonna be able to do duplexes at the most. So you'd have, trash pickup, you'd have more on sewer and water, but that's gonna happen no matter whether it would have been left in the general or not. You'd still have, water demand on that. Other than that, I can't think of anything else.
Sewer is in place, correct? Thank you.
Zoning, the R2 zoning in the county is different from the R2 zoning in the city.
David
R2 in the county has.
or Rosalie, please go ahead.
It is
Rosalie, you got-
also in the urban, it's also heavy residential. You go to R3 in the urban, you don't have R3 in the county. So R2 is the same.
My apologies for speaking of it. R2 in the county is the same as R3 in the city.
No, because you can't have apartments in the county because you don't have sewer access.
I beg to differ with you all. Highway 25. Heritage is in
I will.
my apologies. I did go above you there.
Miss Mayan, please.
Yes.
So two in the county it allows multifamily dwellings, R2 the county does. It does not in city limits. Now, as far as this is concerned here, it will support the sewer. We have talked to the sewer department before they even were able to bring it to planning. I asked that they go into a feasibility study with the water department. What is available there, what's sewer, what is the water line, fire protection, things of that nature. And that's what we're going to try to do in the future, making sure that we're not going to be adding strain on our infrastructure that we're not able to handle.
Landon.
I bring these questions because I want to make sure that these that are asking for this property rezone understand that there's a change once we go into urban service for what R2 can and cannot do. And we're bringing something in that they could do more with because service is there now than they can do when we go to here. Just making sure we're clear.
They are absolutely aware that once it goes into the urban services and their intentions, and I know this is a rezoning and annexation, they are going to be doing lots in single family homes.
Thank you. Are there any other questions regarding this? Linda, go ahead, Linda. It's not working. Go ahead, speak up. Landon?
This goes that area all the way down through there, this zone industrial for an industrial park years ago. That's why I said we've been trying to lightly along. We had some homes 2 to 3 years ago that were trying to sell and they could not sell due to the fact that the banks did not want a loan due to the zoning at that point. So that's where these are coming back to.
Any other questions? I'm sorry, I couldn't see. I'm sorry. Yes. I didn't see any. I didn't see it on. I'm sorry. Mr. Belcher, do you have a question? Okay. Okay. Is there anything else? We have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay. All right then. All in favor? Any opposed? One. Motion carried. Thank you very much. This next one that we're coming to, you're going to find on page 35 of your packets. This is ordinance 337, 2025, 24. This is regarding the maximum number of liquor and package stores. At this time, I'd like to ask David Thomas if he'll please review this for the commission.
So as I talked about in work session, this came before the county with an individual requesting information on opening a liquor store. Rita found through her research that there was an ordinance in place that said you can only have 2 in the urban. We also found that, knowing that there's been at least 3, if not 4 liquor stores at one time. Okay, so we went to looking deeper, found that there was a lawsuit that the city lost. And that's what got us our 3rd liquor store there in the Minute Mark area. Talking with Brandon about it, his advice was just the will of the body. If you want to limit, don't just go ahead and make a clean ordinance on it and bring it forward. So that's what we've done. Planning brought this forward with a favorable. We saw no reason to limit liquor stores in Trousdale County as a whole. And therefore, that's the ordinance you have before you.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this from Mr. Thomas? Got a motion? Do I have a second? I have a second from Amber. All in favor? Any opposed? We got 2. Motion carried. Thank you very much. You're going to find this next one on page 36 of your packets, everyone. This is a public hearing, 2nd reading. This is for ordinance 332, 2025, 19. And before we hold the 2nd reading of this, I'll open the floor for public hearing. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak? If you have, can you sign in at the podium as well? Okay. So I'll take a motion to close the public hearing on this. Got a motion, got a second from Landon. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing is now closed. So this moves us into the business of 332, 2025, 19, rezoning R1 to R3 on East Main. Again, that's on page 36. This is the second reading. Ms. Mayan, if you would please let us know if there are any updates on this matter to the commission, please. Got a motion and a second. Speed reading through it. All in favor? Any opposed? Got one no. Motion carried. Thank you very much. Just as we move into budget amendments on this one, I'm just going to let you know that most of these were purchase orders that were opened in fiscal year 2025 that have not yet liquidated. With electronic voting, which we can't do this evening, all amendments can be taken in one motion. Does anybody want to separate them out, or do you want to take all these budget amendments as one? We have a second? Okay, well, we have to voice vote on this one because we can't electronically. Okay, we will have to voice vote on this one. So the first one is 101 General Services, which is an insurance recovery for the Sheriff's Department. Purchase orders under 101 for fiscal year 2025. That's on page 44 and 45 of your packets to review. Anybody have any discussion on that one? If not, we're going to move forward, which is Fund 111 Urban Services, which is just purchase orders for 2025 fiscal year. That's on page 46 of your packets to review. Does anybody have any discussion regarding this? Thank you. The next one is 116 Solid Waste Services. Again, this is just purchase orders for fiscal year 2025. It's on page 47 of your packets to review. Does anybody have any questions on that one? All right, thank you. Then 128, which is a special fund ARP, which is another purchase orders for 2025 on page 48. Next, 131 Highway Department, which is state aid programs. That's on page 49. And lastly, we've got 141 General Purposes Schools, which is Education Freedom Act teachers bonuses, and that's outlined on page 50 of your packets. So at this time, I think we will, if there'll be no other discussion on those, we will take a voice vote on this.
Beverly Atwood, Tommy Belcher, Linda Bruce, Alan Carmen, Brian Crook, Will Dennis, Jeff Gregory, Bubba Gregory, Landon Gully, Judy Kerr, David Nalner, Leslie Overman, Mark Presley, Amber Russell, Lonnie Taylor, David Thomas, Steve Whitaker, 17 yes, 3 absent.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to move forward to public notary applications, and I've been submitted one for this evening, and that is for Vanessa L. McKee, State of Tennessee. Got a motion? Do we have a second? Leslie and Beverly. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Moving to other business, an advisory committee. Mr. Beller is going to speak to an advisory committee that would be formed for community prison relations. There is no action required from the commission on this one. Mr. Beller.
During workshop, we had a conversation with regard to the status of the lawsuit against Hartsville-Trousdale County. As many of you may be aware, the large one, the one with the Leaper estate that had been filed, has been dismissed for all intents and purposes, barring some type of motion for reconsideration. So the individuals that were named in that suit that were former and present members of the commission, as well as former and present mayor, they're no longer in the lawsuit, as well as Hartsville-Trousdale County. So from that perspective, we are not involved in that litigation. However, as many of you are aware, we've got contracts that we have to address going forward. And some of the consideration that I'd had was to reach out to several members of stakeholders and citizens in Hartsville, Trowser County, and those that are directly affected through Core Civic. And some of these individuals have been highly active already with Core Civic and both voicing their concerns. And so it was my recommendation to this body. They don't have legislative authority, but they do have, they can comprise themselves into an advisory committee to at least speak to a lot of the issues that we see going on with Core Civic, and a lot of them through the training expertise and just simple educating themselves are in a prime position to do that. The 5 members that I would recommend, and of course, once they get started, they can add to their ranks if they want to do that. It's getting them started and coming back to this commission with their thoughts on how this body should handle some of these relations. And I'm going to get to why in a little bit, but the members that I've recommended are Toby Woodmore, General Jason Lawson, who's your district attorney, Melissa Chala, who's here tonight. She also spoke. Many of you may remember her a couple of months ago. She spoke when Mr. Leeper was here also as a concerned citizen. She's been very active and involved in that. Zach Taylor, who is one of your local attorneys, obviously he's a businessman as well, but he has a unique perspective, and then he actually goes into the jail itself on some of these appointed cases. And Mr. Mark Beeler. Of course, again, they can add to their ranks how they see fit. Main thing is getting it started. Now, the question is, why do this? As I told you before, I have been actively involved long before the riots occurred in earlier in the summer, in talking with members of attorneys. No telling how many Zoom meetings I've been on, and attorneys and Tennessee Department of Corrections, as well as members of Core Civic. The why is, we were named in a lawsuit because we had a committee that had it was named Prison Oversight Committee, which is it's really a misnomer. It's more of a prison relations, but I don't want to duplicate that in the future going forward. I really don't. The lawsuits and the theories of the lawsuit have basically targeted us this last time because they perceived that we had some type of authority on management of Core Civic and how they operate, which is not the case. So I think it's good to distance ourselves and to allow others to speak into your ear and to give their concerns. I'm only one person. I can relate to you what I get out of it based on my communications with folks, but my perspective on it may not necessarily be the same. And so I've tried to put together a kind of a cross section of folks that want to be involved, that would serve the interest of Hartsville-Trousdale County Commission well as the administration. So that's the whole point of it. I always like it's not one that requires any type of motion or resolution on your behalf, simply by virtue of the fact they could do this anyways if they wanted to. So I took it upon myself to orchestrate these folks. And of course, law enforcement's represented through General Lawson and whatnot, who's been very vocal in the media and everything else. We're dealing with a statewide issue right now, private prisons and whatnot. So I think we need to keep as a broad perspective as possible. I told everyone that you've got my cell number, my office number. If you want to call me, talk privately, one-on-one discussions as it relates to Core Civic and going forward, I'd like to keep it a very bare minimum in these open meetings. And I don't mind saying that. People say, well, that defies transparency. Well, sadly, in this day and age, they'll take something that you said, misquote it, and they'll run with it and beat you over the head with it. And that's the way people are nowadays. Other than that, is anything that I could answer based on what I've said? again, I've got an open door. Some of you may have called me. I've had actually some phone calls from others that are concerned. And certainly, I'll reach back out to them and direct them in that capacity. Yes, I spoke to every one of them, and they all indicated that they would be willing to serve and to do that. And, allow me to do that. All right. It's just a simple matter of, I've already drafted a letter for all of them. I hope to have that out this week, get it through their emails and then express that. I've even at some point would allow them to even use my office as a location if they needed to. I'm sure there's places here in Travis County they could. You know, Mr. Taylor's got an office here as well, so.
There isn't any action required, but I do
No
appreciate it.
action required. I just need your, you don't have to have formal action, but by the amount of commentary and the amount of, lack of opposition to it, I'm gonna take that everyone here is agreement with the plan as stated.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And if anybody wants to talk to me afterward, I'll be happy to talk with you.
The next thing we had on here this evening was the swimming pool season 2026. However, it's been requested that we hold on to that one for another month while we get some more information and data. So we come in here with all the facts, all the figures and everything to bring forward so that we can make an educated decision on that topic. So that'll come up in October. Is there any other business that needs to be addressed this evening? Has anybody signed in to speak this evening? All righty. If not, then I'll take a motion to adjourn. Have a good evening. Be careful going home, everybody. Thanks for coming out.